Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking about the match between FC Barcelona and Athletic Club. This is going to be for the Supercopa final, and this will also be a match where we are going to be playing in Sevilla. Now I do think that this is a final where it's going to be extremely important, not only for the players but also for Ronald Koeman, because this is going to be a final to show where this Barcelona team does stand currently. Are they going to continue to be a team that does not win trophies, or are they going to continue to be a team that can show they can win trophies and they have improved and they can go far within this season? We also do have Ronald Koeman speak about Barcelona's form in the pre-match press conference, and he said this: of course the Super Cup is very important. It is always important to win things, to know that we are on the road. We know that it's not the most important, but it is always something for any of us. Winning shows us that we are on the right track. It will not be so decisive, but for the confidence and to show that we have improved. It is another game to show that we are a strong team and that we fight every game. We will find an opponent who will have all of their players in full capacity. Now, many of things are going to be at stake here. We have just found out that the presidential elections is going to be postponed until March 7th, and so I do think that a great win tomorrow against Athletic Club in the Super Cup final is going to greatly help this club. Now, I do want to talk about some of the players' fitness within Barcelona, because I know that it all does seem like sunshine and rainbows at the moment, but there is so much going on behind the scenes. There are many players who are trying to get back in to the squad list, and one of the players that we are going to be talking about is going to be about Sergi Roberto and Ansu Fati. And it says here, according to Javi Miguel, Sergi Roberto is already in the final stretch of his recovery and is expected to return by the end of the month. As for Ansu Fati, he has already completed a little more than half of his rehabilitation, and his return is expected by the end at February, which is great to hear, right? The more players we do have come back, it is going to be so much better. I do think that Sergi Roberto is going to be coming back into the squad, giving more competitiveness towards Serginho Dest. I think that after what he has seen and seen how great Dest has been playing on the field, Roberto is going to be wanting to respond. As for Ansu Fati, I do think that this is a player that Barcelona greatly do need. We have been really missing a great world-class left winger, and Ansu Fati can be that player to bring the assist, the goals, to take on players, and overall really help this Barcelona club. Then I want to move on to Lionel Messi, a player where the world is waiting to see if this man here, if this player is going to be playing that final. And it says here, according to Adria Albets, unlike last time, Messi is training at Sevilla ahead of tomorrow's final against Bilbao. They have continued to say that depending on how he feels tomorrow, that is going to greatly indicate whether he's going to be playing in the match between Athletic Club and FC Barcelona. It has been said that he did train very well today. There was no problems, but the final say is going to be tomorrow, just before the match. And to be very honest, I would be concerned too, because usually your body does respond much more differently when you are under pressure, because when you do train and when you play a game, your body responds to those different situations very differently. There is very different outcomes. The pressure is much more intense when you're on the game. But in the end, the final say is going to be tomorrow. And so now I do want to move forward towards some of the transfers that's going on and that could go on in January 2021, which will be in this month. And there are two players that have been highly talked about in the past hours, and that is about Neto and Junior Firpo. Starting with Neto, it says here that Neto's agent has asked to leave the club this January, but they have been denied. Ronald Koeman has also confirmed they want to have all positions covered as much as possible. And this is a strange report to read, right? Because I remember in the beginning of the season, many reports have already stated that Neto has agreed to be the second goalkeeper under Ronald Koeman. He had no problem being that second choice. But I do think that what really sparked Neto and his agent into making this decision to leave Barcelona in January, it is because he has not been playing those cup games. Like, for example, the Super Cup that we have just played, these are the type of games that Neto should be participating in. And then who knows if he's going to be playing in the King's Cup. But obviously, looking at what type of game we have been seeing, like for example, in that match between Barcelona and Sociedad, we really did need Ter Stegen. And I think that Neto does know that. Neto knows that Barcelona really do value Ter Stegen in these games. And I do think that if Neto does leave in January, let's just say this is going to be the worst case scenario for Barcelona. If Neto does leave, the best thing Barcelona could do would be to promote INAKI PENA, a Barcelona B goalkeeper that has been waiting for his opportunity with this club. I do think that this will be a great time for him to grow within the first team. We sometimes do see him in the first team on the bench occasionally, but I do believe that it is time to promote a brand new goalkeeper that does come from the academy. Then moving on to Junior Firpo, it says here, according to Sky Sport, Napoli have made first contacts with Barcelona and have asked about Junior Firpo. Barcelona are open towards a loan deal. Now, this has been a long time coming. Firpo was expected to leave, and this has been reported many times. Look, I do think that Firpo is a great player, but looking at his first day up until today and evaluating Firpo's performance, he has not been that left back that Barcelona have been counting on. And I do believe that the same procedure has to go towards Firpo, just like Neto. If Firpo does leave in January, let's just say, for example, again, the worst case scenario, the best thing Barcelona and Koeman could do would be to promote Alejandro Balde and have that player, which is a Barcelona B player, replace Junior Firpo. This is also a player that Ronald Koeman really does like, and according to multiple sources, it has already been said that if Firpo does leave, Koeman is going to want to replace him with Alejandro Balde. But as for Firpo, we also do have Granada, who is also very interested in his services, and so the future is going to be very open for this player. But now going back into the match between Athletic Club and FC Barcelona, let me tell you guys one thing. There is so much history behind this final. This is not the first time we have seen Athletic Club and FC Barcelona participate in a cup final, and one of the most recognizable moments in games such as these was when Lionel Messi did score that wonderful goal, that amazing goal back in 2015. And ever since then, Athletic Club have really gotten their guard up. Ever since that day, it has always been extremely difficult to get a great world-beating result for FC Barcelona. And now that we stand here today, Barcelona have greatly changed from that day in 2015 until today. But that does not mean that Barcelona are going to greatly struggle against Athletic Club. I don't think that that will happen. I still believe that this is still a Barcelona team that can still stop Athletic Club. Now, looking at the previous match, which was about 6 to 10 days ago, Barcelona has already beaten Athletic Club at their home 3-2. And I do think that because of that performance, that has greatly shown Barcelona's strengths to show what they can actually do when they are in those moments. Because if we were to really pay attention to the type of goals Barcelona did score against Athletic Club in that 3-2 win, those were not individual goals. Those were not individual moments coming from Messi or De Jong or Pedri or Dembele. The goals that Barcelona scored against Athletic Club, it did come through a team effort. And that is really showing that this is a Barcelona team that truly do understand each other. You look at that goal between Messi, De Jong, and Pedri, where Messi did pass that long ball all the way into De Jong, only for De Jong to set up Pedri so perfectly. And then the other goal was Pedri setting up Messi with a back heel. And then we saw Antoine Griezmann assist Lionel Messi at the end. It was a great performance coming from this Barcelona team. This team can perform as a collective. And Busquets, who was also in the pre-match press conference, did explain Barcelona's level and where they are at. And he said this: the team is getting better and better and is doing things very well. Hopefully it will be reflected on the pitch to win the first title. So I do believe that Koeman is going to have to greatly nail this starting 11. I do think that he does have a plan A and a plan B in mind with and without Lionel Messi, which is now going to lead us towards the predicted starting 11. And I'm going to give you guys two different starting 11s on what we could look like if we do not have Messi, or on what we could look like if we do have Lionel Messi. Starting with the first starting 11 without Lionel Messi, I do want to see Marc-Andre ter Stegen in goal. Our defensive line should be Jordi Alba as our left back, Lenglet and Araujo as our center backs, Serginho Dest as our right back. And as for our midfield, I do expect to see Busquets as the central defensive midfielder, De Jong as the left midfielder, Pedri as the right midfielder. And then as for our front three, again, because we're not going to be having supposedly Lionel Messi, I do expect to see Martin Braithwaite as the left winger, Griezmann as the center forward, and Dembele as a right winger. Now I do want to move on towards the starting 11 if Messi were to participate in this game. I do think that we're going to see the exact same defensive line, the exact same starting midfield, but as for our front three, I do expect to see Messi as the center forward, Dembele as the right winger, and Griezmann as the left winger. So regardless whether Messi does start or not, the key players that I do expect to stand out and that will greatly help Barcelona the most if they do have a great game against Athletic Club would be Ronald Araujo. I do think that Araujo needs to be in his A game, knowing the type of beast he is, knowing the type of recoveries he can place on the field. Araujo is really going to have to be on his A game. The next key player is going to be Frankie de Jong. I do think that because he has been so advanced lately is the reason why Barcelona is performing so much more better. And if de Jong can continue this run on form in this final, Barcelona can come out with a much greater result. And then moving on to the last key player, it is going to be Antoine Griezmann. I know that we have talked about how great Barcelona is going forward, but I do believe that Athletic Club is going to be wanting to attack FC Barcelona. And one of the players that has really come in clutch for Barcelona has been Antoine Griezmann and the way that he has been backtracking in a lot of these league games. And so if Griezmann does bring those defensive duties and that discipline on the field, Barcelona is going to be very well covered when Athletic Club does decide to attack. But that is going to be it for today's Barcelona's pre-match preview. Let me know what's going to be your predicted starting 11 and your predicted score for this Super Cup final. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.